Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs,
We are awake, we are not alone.
if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
We are striving for more.
start taking iron today.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank
Friday.
God it's Friday.
Oh, you're damn right. It's Friday. TGIF, everybody. Welcome to Have No Fear right here on the Iron Road Media YouTube channel. And we have got a hell of a show for you. I'm excited about this one. I really am. This is, well, it's been about 4 months since we spoke to our guest. And it's been a bit of a nail-biting 4 months. I want to just sort of fill in sort of what happened from the last time we had Brendon on. Well, you know what? Before that, let's just jump in and say hello to everybody because I'm just too excited. All right, let's take a big deep breath and see if we can't calm this down just a little bit. Let's say hello to Miss Beautiful Cammie Nodell. Cammie, how are you doing, my dear?
Kimmy.
Hi, everybody. I'm doing just great. It's been a busy week, and I'm excited to have Brendon on. Things just keep getting better and better today. Karen B locked into a venue for Flattoberfest, so Flattoberfest will be happening on October 22nd in Greenville, back at the Shriners Center. It opened back up for us. Somebody canceled on the day that we wanted, and they knew that we'd wanted the day and said if we still wanted it. They actually, when they got canceled, sought us out because they want our group there. It's like not only finding a venue that is reasonable and things like this, but the club, the staff, and everybody thought that we were like the most fun group of people they ever had. And the way we interacted with them and that. So we're excited. Flattoberfest, mark your calendar, start getting things ready. Flatterfestivals.com. Look for information coming more on it. Again, it's brand new that we are locked in, but we are. And when I say we, I mean Karen B, the one who does it all, and me just saying we. But that's pretty exciting. Still working on a lot of things. Did a wonderful crystal show, I thought. It was super fun with Karen B on her channel just a couple of days ago. And I'll put a link in the chat for anybody that didn't get to see that if you want to see crystals and reality. And I thought, again, a fun show, a different way of looking at things. We had a good time with it. And with that, I think we can move it on. There's so many other things, but I'll let Zach handle garden life and that because I know we're excited to get to our guest.
We are excited to get to our guest, but we are excited to get to garden life too because I know there's some new additions, some new youngins that you guys were just discussing before we went live. So let's say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. You might know him as Good Times for All here on the YouTubes, or you might know him as the Nomad. Zachary, how you doing, sir?
Howdy, everybody. Yeah, garden is, oh man, I'm loving it. It's starting to take off. Potatoes are popping. We got strawberries. We got radishes, some cucumbers, the peas, the beans, the garlic, the onions. Yeah, everything's growing. So it's exciting getting back into it. But this is what I really wanted to show everybody. This pepper went through some rough times. It got real cold. It looks just like a twig, all right? But if you get real close to it, you can see it's got new life popping up right in here, right down in here. It's not dead yet. I've had them laying completely on the ground, 90 degrees, and come back to life and make it. So if you do plant something and it's not looking good, instead of pulling it out and killing it, give it a little extra time, a little more love, and just see what happens. I mean, this one got frosted a little bit, and this thing just has life popping out all over it, just all down the stem. I mean, it's almost like the frost did something more for it by stunting it a little bit. Like naturally, like when you go and you clip it right in the middle and then the two new ones grow, well, that thing fell off right there in the middle. Now there's two growing there and two growing there and two growing here and two. Yeah, so give them time. Give them some love. Okay, I'll shut up now. I just wanted to show you guys that.
Let's say hello to Mr. Walter Johnson, who's got a little channel here on YouTube, Flat Earth Head. Walter, how was your Friday, sir?
It's great. I am happy to be here. It is an exciting show. I'm looking forward to it. Trying to say hey to all the amazing folks there in chat. Had a great show this morning. Oodles of good stuff. I dropped a link to Karen and Cammy's show there in chat. I'm sure she's done it by now as well. I tried to beat you to it, lady. Always excited about Crystal Talk. Apparently it is starting in the background. Hang on.
It's starting in the background. Here we go. Who knows what it is? Who knows?
It's not sugar season, is
No,
it?
when I shared the link, apparently the show was still in the pre-show period, and I just grabbed the link and ran, and it wasn't playing all that time. Wow, y'all hearing that horrible noise?
That's Zach. I'm
that
99% sure that's
I
Zach.
hear it.
Hey, Zach, you mute.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It might be Zach, but I was willing to say me first. I was willing to jump in the fire. Save my brother. Anyway, yeah, man. Great Friday. Woke up to some amazingness, and well, it's just here at the house. You guys don't need to worry about all that. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Let's shut up my yapping. I'm still waking up, in case you can't tell from the completely befuddled and confusing shit I'm trying to say. So I'll shut up, pour more coffee, let the kratom kick in, and move on to what we got planned, because dude, it's going to be epic. So
yeah.
How are you, Josh? How was your Friday, good sir?
I'm doing all right. My Friday was okay. Work was good. We're chugging right along on the new contract. We're getting all the new tank mounts built and got the first 2 shipped out. So we've only got another 131 left on this part and another 4.5 years on the contract. So there's that. But the first 2 are in the books and shipped out the door. So that's what they were really excited to do, since we were already a little bit behind schedule. They were really pressing us for those 2. So I don't have to work tomorrow. So that'll be nice. Let's see. What else did I do? Well, the plan was tomorrow for me to pull my Candyland up from downstairs and start trimming on the Candyland, and then go and pull that Gorilla Glue that I still have down there. I got 2 more Gorilla Glues left. I'm going to pull the first one that I have left and get it chopped and hanging and curing or drying while I was trimming. but I was just a little off on my timing. So I had to do some chopping last night and went ahead and jumped in on the trimming. So yeah, got to trimming a little bit last night and didn't get much done, maybe a half ounce or so before I had to get to bed for the show in the morning. But I came home from work today and went to burp the jar. So I grabbed the jar, opened the lid, and thought, let me look at this in the sunlight, because I didn't get to see any trimmed buds in the sunlight. And there's just so much beautiful purple and oranges. It's just real pretty. So I'm looking forward to that actually getting cured up here in a few weeks so I can give that a little taste and see how that Candyland does. But the bubble gum, the smell is really coming on. This is just the last little bit. So just even this jar that I popped open to pack a bowl right now, I could smell it poof, right up out of that jar. It was really nice. So, yep, got the Gorilla Glue down. One last one to go. And do a little cleanup of the grow room and get prepped for the next round, which I think will be some of those Jack Harrer autos that I got planned up and ready to go that I know Dixie's looking forward to as well. So one round after the other. 6 weeks later, I'm going to try 3 more, and we'll see if I just can't keep a few rounds of 6 weeks in between. That seems to be a pretty decent little cycle there. Much less, and it's just too piled up. It's too much of a job. Not enough time to smoke it. Anyway, let's just jump right in and say hello to our guest tonight. Well, before we say hello to the guest, because I think he had to step away, probably take care of the dependent that he's got there with him. So we had Brendon Daley on. Actually, that's a lie. I keep saying that, but that is an absolute lie. I did an interview with Brendon Daley. I interviewed Brendon Daley. He's in the process, or was in the process as of 4 months ago, of putting together a documentary, The Rise and Fall. And it's sort of this almost a coming of age type as a flat earther, and what being a flat earther can earn you, and just sort of the trials and tribulations and being able to overcome those, rise above, and still come out well. And it was a really good show. There were so many crazy stories. If you guys haven't seen it, you should really check it out on our channel. I'm pretty sure it's there. 99% sure I have seen it. It's The Rise and Fall with Brendon Daley here on the Iron Road Media YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. It's going to give you a lot of backstory and some of the crazy stuff in the that he's gone through, sort of in the rise and in the fall. And but he was back, man. He was pumped. He had all this footage, and he had grabbed this editor, this woman that I became friends with on YouTube, Vanessa Rudd. And Vanessa was going to start going through and editing all of this footage together, and they were going to start banging out this badass documentary. Really good stuff. We did a really good show. So Brendon does one more show, right? Over for somebody in Australia. And then I don't hear anything. Now, I've not spoken to Vanessa, but because Brendon and I did the interview for his documentary, where he's going to use audio for the documentary, and her being the editor, we sort of hooked up and got exchanged information. So she sent me a message saying, hey, have you heard from Brendon? So, I mean, not terribly recently. Let me reach out and see. So I texted and no response, and called and no response. I thought, well, that's weird. And she said, well, I was talking to him on the phone, and then there was like somebody knocking on the door, and then there was all this stuff going on, and he said he was going to have to call me back, and that was the last time I'd heard from him, and I'm really worried about him. I thought, well, shit. If Vanessa's worried, then maybe there's cause for me to be worried. So I recruit the faithful work of my wife, who is a Googling master, and asked her to see if she could maybe find anything on the interwebs as to where it is he might be. And sure enough, we found him, and I passed the information along, and that was 4 months ago. It took a few days before it all kind of broke down, and I could send Vanessa information as to, he is safe, he's secure, so to speak, and everything's not as bad as you thought it might have been. So that was good. And look, I'm a big fan of Brendon, big fan. So I'm calling every week, leave a message on his voicemail. Hey, just calling to check on you, see what's going on. Then after about 3 months, the voicemail box is full. So I'm back on Facebook Messenger, sending messages. Hey, just checking on you. Hey, happy birthday. So it was your birthday today. Just wanted to wish you happy birthday. Things like that. But still, no response. Then the other night, I'm getting ready to crawl into bed. I'm taking my belt off, my knife off, and emptying out my pockets, and just getting ready to lay down, and the phone rings. I thought, oh, it says Brendon on there. Well, let me step back just a minute. Somebody sent me a friend request on Facebook, you see, and it said Brendon Daley. I thought, well, I don't know about this. Let me check his friends. I'm like, Joel Justice. Oh, Joel Justice. That's got to be the right Brendon Daley. So I went ahead and accepted it and said, well, even if it is some sort of troll or some Russian operative, I guess it'll be worth it just to find out for sure, just in case. And then sure enough, that night, as I'm getting ready for bed, the phone rings and there's Brendon on the other end. And it was actually kind of emotional for me, just because it was one of those things that I've kind of carried with me for the last 4 months. Just always kind of there, wondering, because between Brendon and Vader, and there was just a lot that I had been thinking about over the last 4 months, knowing where he was and what all had taken place prior to and leading up to. So with that, I'm going to be real curious to fill in that 4-month gap and to hear what it was that actually all fucking went down, because it was a mind fuck from what I've heard, from what I've been told thus far. So those of you who don't know him, and those of you that do, I'm sure love him. Everybody, welcome Brendon Daley right here to the to Have No Sphere on the Iron Media YouTube channel. Brendon, welcome back. Glad to have you. And man, is it good to hear your voice. You know what? I wonder if he's not even there.
Oh,
I wonder if he dropped. Yep. I see him not here at all.
No.
after
All
We
that
were not
build-up.
lying, folks.
All
He
that
was
build-up.
talking earlier.
amazing introduction. I talked to him. He's here.
How awkward is
He
that,
was-
Josh?
That's
Now,
awkward
come
as
on, you
fuck.
guys quit pretending he was here. He wasn't really here in the pre-show. Come on. I hear a phone ringing.
I'm trying.
Are you trying?
We'll see.
Yeah, he was absolutely delightful in the pre-show, but we covered everything, and like we do in our pre-show, it was great. I'm sorry you guys all missed it.
Well,
In the meantime, while we're trying to get him on the line, I mentioned in the chat, and I'll throw it out there for anybody that might be in the area. There is a gem and mineral show in Hickory, North Carolina this weekend. And I'll be there tomorrow afternoon with Karen B. So if anybody's in the area, come on down. And it looks like he's successful. So, Josh, any luck?
not as of yet. I didn't want to just leave it ringing, so I went ahead and hung up. Maybe he had a phone call, and I'm sure there's going to be some sort of weird interference between the Messenger app and the phone app trying to make a call, so he might have had to shut one
getting
down.
a call usually interrupts anything. I'm on the phone, Skype, Zoom, whatever. So yeah, that could be it. Definitely.
Well, it was unusual, though, because I had sent him the link for Zoom, because we have one link for Zoom, and it's the same link we've used for years. Everybody's got it. You come, you go. It's whatever. No problem.
Yeah.
He says he couldn't get in. I thought, well, that's weird. So I go to open Zoom, drop down the menu, hit the link just like I always do, and yeah, couldn't get in. So, maybe I'm too sober. Maybe I hit the wrong link. I don't know. So I tried it again, and opened up. I said, oh, okay. And he sent me another message saying, nope, it's still not working. I thought, well, I'm fucking right here. Maybe I hit the wrong link again. So I closed it out completely and went to the link that I sent him and clicked it, popped right in. Yep, no issues. We tried for probably a half hour to get him into Zoom, and it would not let him into Zoom. Wouldn't let him into Skype even. I thought, well, fuck, if we don't use Zoom, we'll just use Skype. I'll send everybody the Skype link. We'll just use Skype tonight instead of Zoom. No big deal. Nope, wouldn't work. So we've been reduced to using Facebook Messenger with the video call. So I'm guessing that because he may have taken another call, I'm guessing that's what it is. Or hell, maybe Vader had to go outside. And when you get a dog that big, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah, you know, boy.
He's a Rottweiler, right?
Yeah, he's a big Rottweiler. A big, well-trained Rottweiler. Service animal, so.
I've never met a small Rottweiler, just saying.
No, there's not too many. Not too many.
Is there even a miniature Rottweiler breed?
If there's not, there should be. How awesome would that be?
Oh,
a teacup
minion-sized Rottweiler.
Oh my God, that would be so cute. Breed him with a minion, a little girl. That would be adorable.
Y'all are twisted.
He
Wrong,
would be
but
humping
adorable.
her shoulder.
I know. He wouldn't know what to do.
do.
I know. Sad but true.
Billingtano says, Josh, I sent you a Facebook request today. Jesus, I can't speak or read. And I did see that, and I recognized that last name. I thought, you know what? There's not too many people I know that could pull off a name Billingtano in chat. And then I get this friend request. I wonder if there's any chance that's the same person. So thanks for the confirmation. Shows that my presumptions were founded. Yeah. Well, all right.
I don't know.
I will say Brendon was pretty much everything I had for tonight. So if he doesn't come back, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do.
We can do online thumb wrestling wars or something.
Yeah. Online virtual thumb wrestling. Perfect.
Oh, no.
No, I win.
No. I did.
You can't hold your thumb back that far and just stay there. That's bullshit. You got to at least play.
You know what? If it's online, I actually have a shot at it. I have a little bitty hand, so I'm not so successful at this game in reality. But online, I might be able to pull it off.
Might have a
Bob
chance.
likes to play thumb wars with me, but keep in mind that my hand is 1/3 of the size of his. And
So
his.
I'm going to make this as a joke, but as I say it, I know it's probably already out there. So I guess the culmination of the epic technology that mankind has brought upon this plane will be two people sitting down in VR playing thumb wrestling with each other.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
Little haptic feedback thumb sleeves.
Right,
You can just roll over your
and
thumb.
the irony, they're in the same room.
I got you. Hey, quit it. You're cheating. You son of a bitch. Quit it.
So now we were talking about that other site today. What was the name of it?
RTS or
realtruthseekers.com.
Yes.
I had never really heard of it before last weekend.
You have. You just don't remember.
Okay.
Because we share a lot of links together. When David started RTS, this has been maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. I bet it's been at least 3 years. The first couple intonations of Real Truth Seekers, I signed up trying to, supporting flat earthers and the stuff that they're doing. I thought that's cool. You're going to get a little, like a flat earther social media platform. That's cool. I guess we'll give it a shot. We'll just sign up and see what's what. And, you can imagine what a pain in the ass it is trying to set up one of these sites and get it all running and humming where everybody's happy and copacetic and working properly. So I think he had to get a couple different versions up. So I think that's what's going on now is he's trying to get his the latest iteration of RTS populated, because apparently you can host videos and do all sorts of stuff over there. So
Well, yeah, you can start. I did today. I went ahead and made my own
did you? Good.
channel, and then you can just link stuff to your YouTube videos. You just copy the URL,
Gotcha.
put it into their server thing, and it just makes a video heading, a title, and all that. It takes everything from YouTube and puts it right on there. You could change stuff if you want, but you can just leave it just like that.
But it's still using YouTube to host. So if YouTube takes a channel down, then it disappears on RTS. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, probably.
Gotcha.
But you can also upload your videos straight to them as well.
Gotcha.
You don't have to do it that way. Yeah, that's just an easier way. Instead of, downloading the video and then uploading it you can do it this way. Yeah. It's you can make a channel and just put like Flat Earth Dave interviews and just, load it up with a bunch of your favorite interviews of his. And yeah, I think they had 7,000 people watching Glowbusters live last weekend.
On RTS?
That's what they said.
That's what they were telling us, which is crazy. Wonderful, wonderful, crazy. I love it. And they supposedly they pick up the numbers for YouTube, so maybe they're picking up the numbers that aren't as throttled as what YouTube is displaying, because again, the numbers that YouTube will display, I don't know if you've seen, but I've even seen on early in where we'll have more people in the chat than what they'll say people are watching. And as they grab on, so they'll say like 13 people are watching, you'll be having like 20 or 30 in the chat. It's like, really, that's really neat. So yeah, I definitely have my trust issues with YouTube displaying really what you're seeing. It's like, I wonder if I don't know if it's logged in or how they're doing it with their algorithms, but I've seen all kinds of messed up things with the YouTube algorithms.
There we go, Vivi. I just had to delete it. I still had the screen pulled up. I still had his name on there. Vivian, this 420 was just reminding me that he was still sitting up there. Shout out to Tommy and his super chat, a super sticker with a smiling face with sunglasses.
Much love, Tommy. Are they going to be having the flat smack at the flea market tomorrow?
Really good question.
I know they're usually out there every weekend, but I know Tommy also works like 190 hours a week sometimes. There's a busy gentleman right there.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, that is so awesome hearing about Flattoberfest, because I know it was getting to that point where you have to have these venues picked out.
Yeah, plenty time ahead of time.
Yeah, many months beforehand.
Oh yeah, to get it into place, and we're hitting. And when again I say we, I mean Karen B, but I'm chatting with her and I'm like sending her different places to try and any ideas and creative venues. We're looking at some even we're getting to the point where I looked into it. Even movie theaters aren't so popular anymore, but they'll rent out movie theaters with popcorn and things like that for corporate gatherings and for festivals and that. I'm looking at weird venues, but that again is hard to arrange on the time that we want. I mean, that's fine if you just want to do a 3-hour event, but not what we were, doing. And again, different types of things. It gets really price prohibitive quickly on a lot of the things. We're looking at a place that had overnight camping for the guests. And yet for each group of guests or whatever, it was like over $500 a night to have them have that available. And then you're supposed to name how many people are going to do it. And then depending on how many people, it keeps on incrementing higher and things like that. It's like crazy.
Nuts. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So again, just trying to work out all the possible logistics. are there hotels nearby? Can people get there on, airports without having to drive forever? And, because it works better if people can carpool and have less vehicles and do things more economically. So again, she was getting to the point where she was like, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. And it's like, let's just throw it out there, ask the universe again, because we just, one venue after another was booked. You could have it this day, not the other. You could have it these hours. If you wanted to do it that way, it was sure for an extra $8,000 or $10,000, or it's
Are
not.
we gonna do the day before, like last?
Yeah, we're gonna do the day before. We're gonna even do the Friday night before. The club, they have the big park across the street. They have the bar attached. They have everything. It really is a great venue. And I think we're gonna do as much as we can. Take advantage of it. And it's a familiar venue, and you're working with familiar people, so we know they're not going to try to scam her or do add-ons or the
Right.
coffee services.
Oh, at those hotels, it's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. You get into 5 figures on coffee services when you want them to bring coffee out. When I literally made over $10,000 sometimes just for the coffee services.
So I just missed a call from Brendon.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. They charge you. They give you that awful coffee.
That's like the Radissons.
In the big things, and yet you're charged like a Starbucks. They hold you hostage.
My brother-in-law kind of warned me back years ago about how the convention industry kind of is ruthless, because they did run the whole MechaCon anime thing convention.
Hey, Josh.
It's pretty nuts.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Well,
go ahead.
Bob just interrupted me and said, do you guys not hear that? You have phone calls calling into your show. It's ringing and ringing. So I guess you can hear it. People watching the show can hear the phone ringing in, but we don't.
We're not hearing it.
Not a thing.
Wow. We must have some.
That's
issues
crazy.
here, guys.
I totally heard
apologize.
it. I even told you guys that I just missed a call from Brendon, and then he missed a call back from me.
We didn't hear that at all. You must have been totally down, and we weren't hearing that. So
our audience can. We just can't. It's kind of like
there he is again.
Come on, get him. Come on.
All right. I think,
all right.
I think we got him.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. And then we'll see if we actually do have Brendon. There he is. I will.
While you're getting that set up real quick, a big hug and shout out to Liz, our lovely, sweet Iron Maiden, who is giving us super chats for the kitties and for the puppies.
You rock, Liz.
We love you, lady. Extra hugs. Wow, we all got quiet. I know, it's like we're crossing our fingers hard.
We can now go visit Liz, right? If you wanted to go over there, there's no more restrictions to get into the country, into the UK. If I'm correct.
I think that might be correct. I'm not entirely sure.
Liz, honey, I was sending you all of my love, but I'm blonde and had my mute button on. So huge hugs to Liz.
I think we're all having a blonde day today.
Nora in chat asks, is the guest from Ireland? Nobody does have some red hair, but I believe he was born here in the United States.
We'll ask him that one day.
I think we're getting real close. Real close we are.
Well, I know the last name Daly that is Irish.
We're back. What's up, man?
There he is.
Woohoo!
What's up, Brendon?
A little bit Irish. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, huh? Yeah, the young lady in chat asking is also, she's from Ireland. But I believe, I don't want to get her story or her history wrong, but I believe she was born in the U.S., and then moved to Ireland at a young age and has been there for quite some time now. But yeah, No One's Flower, or Nora. I met her in Denver, Colorado, actually, at a Flat Earth International conference.
Well, yeah, she did. She was staying at my house. I miss you, Nora.
So before we lost you, Brendon, I was just kind of going over my perspective of having you on and doing that, doing the interview so that you could cut audio for the documentary, right? And get it over to Vanessa and hooking up with Vanessa and hearing all the crazy stuff that went on in that interview. And then you said you did one more interview for some people in Australia. And that was sort of the last I'd heard of you for 4 months. And then, Vanessa contacted me and the wife managed to track you down. I guess go ahead and I'm real curious to hear your side of this story and what happened post interview from the last time I talked to you till a couple days ago.
Well, it was kind of a crazy ride, man, for sure. And I at this point, I'm just thankful to be alive and be here talking with everybody. So I have no quarrels with anybody, and the whole documentary, I saved all the SD cards, and I'm just, the fact that I was able to do that is God sent in its own right. So happy to be here. So for sure.
Well, that's awesome. So yeah, I was just chilling, doing my thing, and Vanessa sent me a message on Messenger saying, "Hey, have you talked to Brendon?"
Yeah, she's a nerd. I'll always say that she's the biggest nerd I know. So smart girl, flat earther, and nothing but love for her.
So I remember a story that you were telling me when we did the interview about this crazy ass band that was fucking harassing you and was doing this live show like right outside your house, and all these guys were coming out and you're just get strapped up and you're like, all right, if we're going to do this, let's do this. And I'm like, man, this cat is just like fucking off the rails. This dude is just straight balls to the wall. Parking lot full of people, and he's gonna just fucking stroll out there with his AR and his vest on, being like, all right, so now what? So it's just this mentality, this crazy fucking balls to the wall mentality.
Yeah, I mean, so if anybody wants to like get an idea of like what happened that night, just look up the Rising, and Gemini syndrome, and it was a tough one to deal with, because I had to live my life with this presence in front of me, and they ended up releasing their album in a garage that was about 400 feet from me. So that was, I want to say like I'm honored, but at the same time, I was definitely prepared for anything that would be happening at the time. And if you look up Gemini syndrome, and if you look up, them live, they're performing at my house, which was an honor, but at the same time, it was definitely something that I had to protect myself.
Right.
So.
Well, that seemed pretty threatening at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
In the course of looking for where Brendon may have run off to, we found this interesting. You mind if I pull this up? I thought.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You're all good.
All right. Well, because I don't want to share anything that's out of turn here.
Yeah, sure way.
But because you weren't even aware this was out there. But
I was not. I was definitely not. So
shit. So I've got it pulled up. I wonder if there's any possible way I could share this. Hold on. I think I'm close. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one.
What are you sharing?
Yep, that one. I'm going to share this, and I will even share it for everybody here on the call because I'm getting better at learning how to do that. So the headline reads, Londonderry man accused of an order violation in Merrimack. And then, of course, the subheading being, Brendon Daley was arrested and held without bail after an incident on Thursday in Merrimack. Standoff with police on Friday in Londonderry. Yes, standoff with police.
Yeah, they said it was brief.
So it says here, a Londonderry man was arrested on Friday, accused of knocking on the door of the home of a protected party in Merrimack on Thursday. The bastard. Police were sent to a home in town around 7 p.m. after a resident accused Brendon Daley, 38, of Bayberry Lane in Londonderry, of violating a protective order. After an investigation, police, quote, determined that Daly was in fact served with a protection order which prohibited from being within a certain proximity from the victim, according to Lieutenant William Gudznatwitz at the Merrimack Police Department. He accused Daly of arriving at the victim's home and knocking on the door.
Yep.
A warrant was then issued.
Bastard.
Do what?
Said you bastard.
A warrant was then issued for Daly's arrest. Around 6 p.m. on Friday, Londonderry police went into Bayberry Lane to serve the warrant to Daly. Daly, however, was accused of refusing to accept the warrant, and a standoff ensued. According to Londonderry police, 8 officers, 4 sergeants, 2 detectives, 2 lieutenants, and a partridge in a pear tree were involved in resolving the warrant service case. The standoff with Daly was, quote, brief, Gudnswix said. Daly was charged with 2 counts of resisting arrest or detention, along with the warrant. After being processed and bailed out, Daly was taken into Merrimack, where he was processed and held without bail. He was arraigned on November 5th.
Yep.
Now, so when they went and got the warrant, did they get like video from this person of you knocking on the door, or did they just take their word for it?
They took their word for it.
Wow, and gave a warrant. There's
Yep.
zero investigation being done, and
Well,
they're giving out warrants for that?
If you have a sworn affidavit, a signed and sworn affidavit of fact stating that, and having it notarized by a notary public, that is basically evidence and is actionable, I do believe. But I don't like. It's just I don't know.
The whole they drove a Bearcat through the front of there's really no words to describe what happened.
Right.
So,
And they
let's
also
start
said
with
it was
this.
Brief. They said it was brief. No, that's a funny word, brief. You know, the Earth goes around the sun in a year, right? According to them.
but you know,
Yep.
3 weeks of that's pretty brief. So brief is a loose term. So what in their mind is brief?
About 7 hours.
That
There was,
seems a
you
little
know,
more than brief to me, but okay.
Well, let's set the stage real quick. Tell us about Vader.
Yeah, no. Can you guys? Do you have my video right now? Or,
I do. Yeah, you're up.
All right, let me see here. All right, let's bring the champion in here. No.
Where is he? He's stuck at. Oh, look at that black head. Look at that big old head. Now, this isn't like a puppy. This isn't just like some street mongrel that, you know, might have some Rottweiler in him, and he's just a real big fan of Brendon, and they're just like buddy pals. No. This is like a relationship. This is a service animal. This is a fucking family member.
Yep.
And well trained.
Yep.
Large, strong, and well trained. Just keep that in mind.
True. Vader is he's a traumatic brain injury service dog, and he's looking at me right now. But he's a good
He knows
boy.
he's getting talked about.
What's that?
I said, yeah, he knows he's getting talked about.
He does. Hang on. Let me bring him back on camera. Vader, what's up? What's up?
Jeez, that is one big boy. And
yeah, he's a big scary dog, man. Rottweilers bite people and they attack people and all the other stigmas that we have with them. So
Just so glad he's here, man. Unfortunately, too many times things like that end with gut instinct of trigger happy. Somebody takes him out.
Yeah, I was actually I was definitely blessed because the situation that I was in, it was one that usually ends in something bad, and the fact that he didn't get hurt was something that I'll forever be thankful for. So I have no quarrels with the Londonderry police, and I have no quarrels with anything that happened with us, but it was definitely something that I forever will cherish, that he's still okay, and nothing but love, because like it could have ended like in a much different way. So I have no problems with anything that happened.
So after having listened to that brief synopsis as was written up in the local paper.
Yeah.
So yeah. The warrant service was resolved after a brief standoff.
Yep.
You're living in a hotel right now. Is that correct?
I am.
Because you cannot live inside your house?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. That they drove a fucking truck through the front of it.
Yep. It's called the Bear. If anybody needs to know what that is a fucking it's a military vehicle, and knowing that the cops have access to these things is quite I don't know, it's hard to deal with, to know that they have access to drive things like that through your house. And it was painful knowing that my dog, myself, and we could have been injured a lot worse than we were. So definitely hard to deal with.
And then they used a little bit of tear gas. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of tear.
Because this brief standoff consisted of them pumping tear gas into your house for how long?
6 hours.
6 hours. So I have to ask, was this just like straight reminiscent of like boot camp where you go in there and you just endure it? Or were you like fucking masked up, just chilling, like, motherfuckers, I'll do this all goddamn long?
Yeah. So the tear gas, the first thing they asked me was, what fucking military branch were you in? And I was like, I'm like, why? And like, we've never seen anybody take tear gas for 6 hours like that.
That's awesome.
So, unfortunately, my dog had to endure it. I had to endure it, and we're alive. So
That's got to be like a Guinness record, dude. You need to check into that. I mean,
no,
seriously.
I definitely wanted to, for sure, sure.
He's already sent the email. He's just waiting response. But they get so many people claiming this exact record that, I mean, really, can they send somebody, a representative, to every prison across the nation just to prove that they sat and endured their tear gas for X amount of hours?
6 hours is a long time.
6 hours is a long ass time. 10 minutes. 10 minutes of CS gas. I doubt it was even 10 minutes long. Sitting inside that barn while they waved the gas around and made everybody take their gas mask off. It's a long time. Like, because you don't get to hold your breath. They'll straight look you in the eye and make sure they see you breathing to know that you're inhaling CS gas.
Yeah, it was it really wasn't nothing, to be honest with you.
Did you ask them what they use? I'd be real curious at how it would compare in relation to, say, CS, if they used what kind of tear gas they use. I'd be curious.
Well, they smashed out my front windows and they released drones, and the drones had tear gas like in the.
What the actual fuck?
Like
It's
inside
like
your
something
house?
out of one of those future movies.
I was about to
real.
say,
Yeah.
dude, that's some shit out of a damn.
I'd have straight
Minority
blanketed that
Report
motherfucker.
shit.
It definitely didn't feel real. I didn't think that this was something that was possible, but it was. And I got flashbanged. The funny thing is, like, so like when it all started, they flashbanged the house and they went to like throw one inside, and it bounced off the outside of the window and flashbanged themselves. It like I saw like explode in their faces, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And they kind of backed off, and I was like, I remember thinking to myself, well, how is this even possible right now that they're doing this to themselves? Never mind to me.
Oh, I want this body cam footage so desperately. So desperately do I want to see them flashbang themselves.
Yeah, I have. I'm reaching out to my neighbor, and she evidently has. She's a big TikToker, and she has footage. I'm just gonna go up based on that. Yeah, you really can't explain what happened. You know, the dog's good. I'm good, and we're living life now. So,
well, awesome.
So, real quick, like flashbanged, you didn't have your ears covered or anything, did you?
nothing at all.
What was that like, man? Was that just like total whiteout? Like you can't hear anything, you can't see anything? I've wondered
I mean,
what
I was
it's like
wondering
to be
what like feel like. but the fact that it bounced off the outside of the house and bounced back at them.
So that was the only flashbang they sent in, was the one that they used on themselves?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. It hit him right in the face, and it's hard. It's hard for me to like. It's funny, but I have no words to describe like how like. I remember going downstairs after it happened, and just kind of waiting for them to reach my home, and it was quite the experience for sure.
Wow.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yep.
So you were downstairs when they drove that thing through your front wall?
Yes.
Man, that had to be a loud noise. Were you like, what the
it
actual
was
fuck? Are they dropping bombs?
It sounded like it. It's called the Bearcat, and thankfully I had like a bunch of like footage and SD cards and everything that I was trying to save, and this girl Kelly, who's an amazing friend of mine, came back and went into my home and like saved everything that I was like trying to save for the footage, and there's really no words that could explain like what happened. So,
well, at least you're home. At least you're safe. At least Vader's safe, and at least the family is good. And you still have plans on heading back to the orphanage, yeah, and dropping off some money or doing some more outreach.
I do for sure.
That is awesome.
Awesome, man.
So in August, I plan to go back to Honduras and giving everything I have back to the families that I had reached out to. It's really something that I can't really explain unless you see the raw footage of it. But definitely excited to go back to do that. So
I know for a fact that I've worked in the working conditions that a lot of these people from Honduras come to, and they work in these factories and stuff.
Yep.
And it's like hell where we worked, and they're happy to be there. So yeah, they say it's way, way better here, even working in some shitty dead end job, than it was back home in Honduras around their families. And most of their money went back home.
Yep.
They're trying to get there, and all these people came over legally. They didn't, they have sponsors and this and that, and yeah, it's a big ordeal. And yeah, these people need a lot of help. They really do.
Yeah, it's the I mean, if you break down the footage I got, it's really quite it's awe-inspiring. So it really words can't explain it.
Get over here. Stop. You quit.
It just is at that point. So
come here.
Having some trouble there, Walter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got cats all over me. Fuck.
And then, how is the future of Flat Earth going there on Facebook? How's everything been going with the page and all that good stuff?
It was a good welcome back. The group kind of died out when I left, and I'm in the process of fighting to have the group come back in a way that I had left it, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard, and I have no doubt that that's something that could happen. Because I know you still got some badass mods there, and once you get that fire lit up under their ass and get you posted again, I imagine that it's going to pick right back up.
Yep, for sure. The group's amazing, and it was kind of like I don't know, like I felt a part of me left when I left the group, but
Absolutely. I can't even imagine what you've been through, man. It's just incredible. I'm just stunned beyond words. You know, and we all talk about, well, what if they show up at our door one day? You know, what if? Well, good Lord, if there's anybody can tell us about it, you definitely have. Just mind blowing, brother.
yeah. There's really no words to explain.
Well, have you, I mean, is there, you know, we had a caller in just last week that's been through some hellacious stuff and reached out because of his experiences and PTSD it has left him with. So is there, you know, someone you can reach out to and discuss this in depth when those words are able to come? Because it could be that this is still something that's so affecting you that these words aren't, you know, there for you. Dude, trust me, I was talking about it this morning on the show with the things in the wreck that as I started to describe them to the psychologists and stuff, I just fell apart. You know, it destroyed me. I didn't even know I had all those things inside me that I was grappling with. So yeah, it definitely, it literally isn't something you can come up and describe sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, there's no words that could describe it. So,
And then you've still got plans for the rise and fall. Your documentary is still, at least in theory, moving forward.
yes.
Awesome.
Yep. In theory, we're moving forward with it, and the Papa's come over here now. There we go. Start of the show.
Look at that big boy. I absolutely love it. Well, it just absolutely sucks that you've had to endure all this needless bullshit. But one thing I thought was interesting, having read back over the blurb from the online article from the local paper about this warrant that was issued after having investigated the alleged door knock. And it was found to have been, again, actionable, whereupon a judge would sign that warrant to come get you for this alleged door knock.
Yep.
So for this alleged door knock, the Bearcat drives through the front wall. They bring tear gas spraying drones in through the busted out front windows. And after a 6 or 7 hour long standoff, they finally come in, get you out, and take away all of your computers and your hard drives.
Yep.
On a warrant issued for an alleged door knock. Why do you think they might include computers? Because they would have had to have been included in the warrant. What do you think the computers? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, sir, don't you see, Your Honor? He knocked on the door, so obviously we got to get his laptop and his hard drives. Maybe it was pre-planned, premeditated. Maybe he's part of an underground cell of door-knocking vigilantes. And they're what really responsible for charging the Capitol. Because he's got guns, he's got vests, he's got dogs, he's prior military. and he's making us look stupid as shit. So is there anything we could maybe do to beef this up? Can we just grab that computer? We're going to be in there anyway, right? For the door knock, the alleged door knock. Let's just start sweeping shit up and see what we can find. Let's just
Hey,
throw
that's
a
not
cast
part
right
of
out there.
a warrant is to be after specific things. I thought
Yes.
maybe. I thought
Yes,
so.
exactly.
I thought so.
Very specific. You have like listed, itemized list of the things that you are required that you want to look for, and that the judge
So
agrees
I
that
thought
you
that's
can.
what it was all about. Yep.
Mhm.
So holy shit, man, this is just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. They definitely knocked for more than what they asked for sure. And I had no way of like defending myself, except for
Taking that short dead end road.
Like there's no way to like really, here I am, this voice, and I got swamped, and the whole experience was was really, really bad. There's no way to explain it. So,
Yeah, that's like movie stuff right there. That's what they,
That's some gray state right there. I don't know if you guys
I was thinking the same thing, Gray State. Yeah,
saw that
that's
back
an
in the
excellent
day.
documentary, and then the bullshit behind it is incredible there as well.
Yeah, the director, his mysterious
Uh-huh.
death. I saw that because that was like right when doing the concept trailers was really big, and it was this whole, and I didn't realize while I was watching it that it was a concept trailer. So I watched it, I'm like, oh my, because I was like neck deep into Alex Jones. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to watch this movie. And I'm scouring the internet till I finally run across it. And I'm like, oh. So they invest all their money to make this to attract more people, to give them more money to make the actual movie. The fuck kind of bullshit is that? I'm never going to see this fucking thing. And I think they did make a version of it, but it was, I don't know, very odd. I think it was another one of those things where it's like, it runs with a whole tone and tenor for about 90% of the movie, but that last 10% just takes a sudden turn, and like a whole group of Hollywood writers came in and said, let's just make this fucking thing dive bomb straight into the ground.
Yeah, Belu told us.
Right. Exactly. Yes, that type of thing. Yep.
Do you remember that, Brendon? That they're from South America, and they came up with it was really well done. And then in like the last 5 minutes, they said they got all their information from an alien.
That was the avocado Earth, or the twice baked potato Earth, floating in space or something. I don't know, I guess. But they'd had it like all mapped out, and they had this weird, it was almost, it looked like an avocado. And that was it was really weird. Yeah.
I do that for sure.
Really good for about 80% of it. Okay. It was decent for about 70% of it. And then there was stuff that wasn't decent for about 25%. And then 5% of just nonsense Belu bullshit.
Well, I'm honestly just glad that I survived the footage that I was so scared that I had lost, and I didn't. So,
and just to be clear, most of this stuff is not anywhere online, right? Like, you've got a lot of good stuff that you have put out. There's no real good place to go and like catch up on your archive stuff, is there?
There will be. There definitely will be.
So. Okay. Good. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing that. We don't want to take up your whole damn night, and I know you got Vader there, and I bet you, again, it's not one of those dogs you want to let an accident happen, because the dog that size, well, you can imagine.
Big presence.
Big presence.
Big scary dog.
But I'm so glad you are doing well and doing better, at least. Maybe not well, but doing better. I'm glad you are smelling free air, looking at sunshine, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And I really look forward to see what's gonna come next, and see what happens with the future of Flat Earth over there on Facebook. If you guys partake in Facebook, make sure you head on over there and join that awesome little Facebook group. Why it's a little quiet now, you head on over there, maybe stir shit up. Brendon will be over there stirring shit up. There are lots of badass mods again over there going to be stirring shit up now that Brendon's back. So definitely be on the lookout for the future of Flat Earth on Facebook. And is there anywhere else besides the future of Flat Earth and whatever random Facebook account you've managed to not get banned and locked out of?
No, that's it, man. That's it. It was there. Just Brendon Daley on Facebook. So,
well, that is awesome. Everybody, make sure you head on over there, hit him up with a friend request, because there's going to be lots of really awesome stuff coming Brendon's way and from Brendon's direction. Thanks for hanging out with us, Brendon. It was an absolute pleasure to catch up. Feel free to hit me up anytime. You got my number. You know how to get a hold of me, at least through Messenger. I'm pretty sure, for some reason, you've got to have my number, because I was like calling you on my lunch breaks and filling up your voicemail box. So I know I've got your number somewhere. I will text you mine, so now you'll have it in your new phone.
We'll do.
Awesome. You have yourself a great rest of your night. Give Vader a big old knock on the head for me.
Absolutely, man. Take care of yourself, brother. And
Yeah, love you, Brendon.
Love you, brother.
Reach out, brother, if you need anything.
Absolutely. You know where we are.
All right. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you soon.
We'll do.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye. That is so awesome. I am so happy I got to hear from Brendon again. Again, it's one of those guys that I just, vibed with or felt a vibe with.
Brother,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it really
like
was.
I said, man, to hear all this is just beyond brain breaking. Like you said, Zach, a fucking movie, dude. Good Lord.
And I mean, this is just like the end of the movie. The whole thing that happened here. I mean, you can take the last, since he started doing Flat Earth, at least I know of, he's been done some crazy stuff. I mean, gone to the most dangerous
and then
favelas in the world.
Places.
Yeah. Hanging out with these gang members that, kill Whitey most of the time. And he's flat. He went to go flat smack him. He's talking Flat Earth with him to spread the word. I mean, he's done some amazing, amazing things. And yeah, I can't wait to see some all this stuff.
Yeah, I expect big things out of Brendon.
Yeah. Well deserved. I mean, the guy's, and then that's without all this crazy stuff that he's been through lately. I mean, just his Flat Earth stuff alone. I mean, everybody who's, old school Flat Earth and has been around for 5-6 years, you've definitely seen some of the stuff. You may not know it, but you have, just super active. Wasn't he doing who was he doing something with? I know he was
back in the day.
Yeah, he was collaborating with somebody else.
Nathan Thompson, I think.
Wasn't it Nathan? Yeah.
I think so. Was he and Nathan Thompson doing a thing once upon a time? Yeah, way back. That was a hot minute ago.
That's been a minute. Yeah, that's early days. Yeah.
Yes, and expect big things out of Vader too. That's right, Billy Tano Bear.
Right?
Especially after dinner. Well, I reckon we could open up phone lines. I reckon anybody that might happen to have that Zoom link, gets bored, wants to click on in, we can do that too. I can throw up the Restream link there in chat. We can do all sorts of good stuff. So I could throw up Telegram, open up Telegram, give a little practice for our upcoming 420 show. It's going to be a Rockfin exclusive, but if you are on Telegram and
Bum,
on
bum, bum.
Patreon and a few of these other places. I will be able to drop a link, and I'm going to have a special Telegram room I'm going to call the Fishbowl. And every time we smoke out during the show, I'm going to bring in the fishbowl and we can all smoke out together, and we'll just kind of say hi and chit chat and bullshit for a little bit as we take a break in between. Well, whenever the fuck we want to smoke, really. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And it'll be a good chance for me to practice actually bringing up Telegram. I do want to make a quick mention to a show on, Jesus, was that Wednesday? It's Friday, so I guess that's true. Intellectual Catch Up. Jake, was that Kelly Knighting show? Was that Wednesday? My days.
Yeah, because we went over there after we got through with our pre-show. That's why we were so late, or that's why I was so late. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it, that night?
Fuck, I don't even remember. Head on over to the Intellectual
You're in
Catch
front of the
Up.
computer as much as we are during the week. It kind of does start running together.
It does terribly.
Good Lord.
Luckily, there's a Big Skinny YouTube channel. Tuesday night. My goodness. Tuesday night. That makes sense, I suppose. Now I'm going to
What time would that be taking place on Tuesday night?
This already happened. This was last Tuesday night. They did.
It was Tuesday night
with David Weiss.
Oh yeah, that show was awesome.
Yeah,
man, with the sumo wrestler, correct?
That's right.
Right.
With Kelly Knighting, yes.
That was a very smart man. You could tell, and wasn't, I believe, the heaviest person to run a marathon.
3.
Really? 3
Wow, this is like so familiar.
Especially if you've seen that whole show, because I'm pretty sure they did this bit in that show as well.
And we did this bit this morning. I was talking about Kelly for a few sentences, and then Zach jumping in and went, "Oh, and then that show with the sumo guy." Didn't he run a brace? Yeah, 3. So yeah, I think it was verbatim.
Yeah, but
we're really not computer people. I promise we're real. This is all real.
There's Matt over there on the Big Skinny Show, another place you can go subscribe, because I'm sure if that Kelly Knighting interview is not up there right now, it's going to be very soon, because they're going to be migrating all their stuff from Intellectual Catch Up over to Big Skinny Show. And I don't think Big Skinny Show has a wrench, because that's a brand new effing channel.
I was about to say, that's a new one. I better go make sure. I'm actually.
You won't be unless you
Kelly
saw
called him the next day, and he is all excited. Yeah, man. Once you figure it out and you see it in your head, how the flat Earth works and how you've been lied to, it's like being born again. You can't help but be excited and want to go tell everybody. And now it's so nice because there's the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. And that I'll just do that part. But yeah, we have all these tools at our disposal now. It's so much easier than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. I mean, we can, here, you need proof, boom, 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 boom. And you can do it from your phone, right there in your hand while you're talking to the person. It's just, a whole different ballgame now. But yeah, I see big things coming out of Kelly, even.
Yep. I was in the chat saying it a few times, but I'm sure you guys were busy with the show and missed. But yeah, anything that you guys can do, Kelly, or Jake or Matt, to get Kelly to come hang out with us over here on an IRM show would be awesome and much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely go sub the Big Skinny Show.
I had
seen they were up to
Hippie is dropping those links left and right. Hippie, you are doing amazing work, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think when I subscribed, they were up to like 25. It was like the 25th, and then I went and checked today, and it was down to like 16. So YouTube is already messing with them.
YouTube's already fucking with them.
Well, you're over target, gents. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just subscribed it was 21. I subscribed and they're at 21. I guess 21 plus 1 is 21. Yeah, they don't make it easy.
No, they don't. They do not.
We were talking about that a little bit earlier in the algorithms. I'm also going to drop a link in the chat for Ariel True Seeker, another new up and coming energetic channel.
Yeah, I
Ariel's
noticed
awesome.
that channel this morning, and was that this morning?
Ariel's liable to just
sure.
pop in our chat at any given time, and especially
pretty
if we
sure
squeeze
that was
out
this
enough
morning.
positive thoughts, it's liable to just summon her directly. You never know.
Ariel, I will be on her show Sunday night after
Hey.
Globebusters. I think it's starting at 7 o'clock, I think is when we have on my calendar. I don't have it open right now, but I do know it will be following the Globebusters show on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to time with Ariel.
And
Yeah,
he'll
it'll
be
be fun.
dropping a new channel link for us all here for, it hit me live.
That's great.
Bill Miller Flip.
Look at
Nice.
Jake's brilliant
I'm
idea.
always-
Jake wants to create an app that keeps you subbed to all of your favorite channels. It just does a daily check and that resubs you if you're not subscribed
Right?
already. How
Use
fucking
an
That is
algorithm
good.
against their
That is a
fucking algorithm.
good little
That's
macro.
awesome, dude. Who can do that? Get it out there, dude.
That should be fucking easy as shit, I would think.
You would think they throw it at us left and right. Like they're just simply amazing.
That's simply brilliant. And brilliant in its simplicity.
I was trying to talk earlier during the Bilu section, and I was talking away, and you guys kept on talking over me. And I realized that I was on mute.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say I didn't hear anything coming out of you, Cam.
Oh yeah, that's because I was muted. Remember when I got out and got back in, Zach? I didn't go and check the main page. So I was in YouTube chat and I'm talking and I kept on checking my little light on my headphone and it's like it's going on and off. But again, I missed the main set on there. But the Bilu model, what they did was they put out a good movie, good documentary, and they're putting out good layouts and things like that. And then at the end, they took what was a nice little where you're seeing the flat and they put it with a rock on the bottom and had it floating out in space. Where all the other round planets just like in the
Well, like a
geo
little avocado.
right, like a little avocado with its pit, or like you cut it in half.
Or something.
Yeah, squash just flying out in space in orbit between Mars and Venus, and it was looking good, and then they did that. They took again what I really call gatekeeping. They take some good information, some good graphics, some good production values, and the work into it. And then you make a mockery of the model by having it fly out in space and say that this was all presented by a little alien in the bushes. And then they were upset that we didn't want to push it after we saw it. It's like, what? No, there's some good artwork and good explanations.
What was it about the magic plate? I can't remember.
Oh gosh, it's so silly. Again, the layouts and some of the things they did were very clever and good.
It was very greatly done production-wise. Yeah.
Production-wise,
early on, remember that one little? I don't remember if it was just an image or if it was an animation, but it was trying to show how water is level. But they used the I can't remember, was it curved? I don't remember how they did it, but immediately when I saw it, it hit me wrong. I'm like, something's not kosher here.
Aren't they the ones that took the buildings and the plumb bobs or something? Isn't it? I thought they were measuring from the tops of buildings and the bottoms of buildings.
Right. That was brilliant. That was wonderful with the plumb bobs or doing GPS. They were doing GPS.
Something about the water level and the way they showed it with the image. And it was like, that's not how we measure that or whatever.
That is not how we measure that.
Anyway,
but it was a mix and match. Some of the stuff in it was fabulous and really was like, wow, that's really bright and that's really clever that they thought of it and was valid. Again, they came up with some good valid points, and this is how gatekeeping goes. And they buried it in stupidity. That again, at the end of the movie, it was kind of like join our cult to little Beulah in the bush. Crazy.
And the animations were amazing.
And the animations were, I mean, I'd love to have their budget or whoever their graphic artists were and to be able to actually put it out. And it had hope until they floated it out there as a potato.
Yeah.
In space.
Floating in space. And
it's like everything else is rounded. You're right. We're just little cut the top off of it, just flying. Again, it was so absurd.
Like a Jetsons car.
Right. That's a good one, Zach. I'm going to have to. I wonder if I can. We're going to check the reach of the headphones, and I might have to clip a little bit of lettuce before it gets dark. It's so good. I mean,
What?
our garden is such. It feels good to just clip and eat. It's magic. I'm really liking garden life. Zach can tell you I'm completely hooked. I am hooked. I am completely hooked.
You've got a hat and everything.
Got a
I got a
That's
hat
it.
and everything is right. Got a big old rimmed hat. Like a serious sun-rimmed hat. And love it.
So it looks like, just real quick, because I see it there addressed to you in chat, that Rico is saying, "Hey, Cammy, me and Miss Mays are about to start a monthly stream with Ariel, Buddha, and Rico. So excited about that. Yeah, definitely pumped up. Come back, hang out.
Wonderful.
Let us know
Ariel.
more about it. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I saw
Great
Rico was
energy.
also going to make an attempt at
I just saw that too. What? Oh, that's awesome. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you should definitely, Rico, reach out to Hori Sheet. He had done the same
Hori
thing a
Sheet?
few years back, trying to do a Flat
Yeah.
Earth TV guide style
Yeah.
and sell some ad space on screen ad space during the scroll and things like that. I don't know that it ever really got off the ground, but I mean, you never
think
know.
it
There's
was
a lot more Flat Earth shows now than
right
there were
after
then.
that was when a bit of drama hit his life, if I remember correctly.
You know what? That does sound a little bit correct.
And Josh, you're so right. There's probably at least 10 times as many flat Earth shows
As
now.
then, yeah, it'll be a handful, brother. You may have to
I
put out a
mean,
magazine,
I look
like
every day,
a
and I'm
small
seeing
format magazine, like weekly. No, just kidding.
I am seeing new flat Earth shows popping up like weekly. Just starting off, 10 subscribers or whatever, and they're titling it Flat Earth this or Flat Earth that, and yeah, they're popping up all over the place. So, I mean, it's spreading like wildfire now.
It is exponentially snowballing. We wondered if it would ever happen. It seemed like in the beginning that no matter what, when we mentioned things like that, people would look at us like you're completely crazy, and we're in the world. Did you hear such a concept? Snobbery, but everywhere you go now, you run into flat earthers, and you see them popping up on the app, and you go out and you talk to groups, and they're just more open to listening to what we have to say. I got my Facebook memories this morning, and I had memories from 7 years ago where my sister had a surgery, and I went out and stayed with her because she had kids in soccer and everything else, to keep it going. So she definitely needed another person that could drive and take over for her while she was down completely bedridden. And I remember the time we were doing the Globebuster show and everything, and she was like, this is when she had the questions that got turned into a really good Globebusters. If you guys have ever heard Why Does It Matter? Or What Difference Does It Make? A clip that everybody put out on what difference does it make when we were talking to a family member. This was my sister asking all of these questions, and Bob fielded it on a Globebuster show. And everybody, Jaron and Morgan and everybody had an answer for it. It was something that got clipped out and reposted everywhere and turned out to be one of the most beautiful things. But at the time, it was even with her, can't believe that you would take my question and put it on YouTube. The drama of it, how embarrassed to be, connected to Flat Earth. And
So,
speaking of your family, I saw a video go by this morning. I didn't have a minute to look at the content, but I immediately knew it was about your brother's signs and was had a nice little chuckle.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I'll find it and see if you saw it go by. Yeah.
No, I didn't see it go by, but I saw Karen B even posted one of my brother's signs.
It was
people.
A new one, recently, in the last few days. Let me see if I can find it.
I do, and it cracks me up because I'll see it on the Discord channel in all different places, and where they're displaying it. These people don't know me. I don't know that the person that does the signs is my brother, who is not a flat earther by the way, but we'll discuss it with you back and forth, and we have discussed it and have had fun with it. And I think he just right now is staying undecided because he wants to focus on his signs, and he's got some big changes going on in his life right now. He is selling his house and wants to make the sign more of a lifestyle, much like me, where he can travel around the country and meet the fans and like do dad sign activism. It's the bug is out there, so yeah, he wants to do an RV life for a while.
Watch lots of YouTube videos. There are so many videos on RV life that will help you a lot.
Right.
All the things that you think are good ideas probably aren't that great. You might have a few, but you go watch a lot of these videos and you'll be like, wow, that would have been a big bonehead mistake doing that.
Yeah.
Just about, what you pack and things like that, all kinds of stuff. There's so many videos out there on how to van life or RV life or live in the back of your truck life. I mean, there's just so many.
It is an art to it. It is a complete art to it. I know even living on a houseboat for a couple of weeks at a time. Yeah, less is better. I liked it. Important things I liked. You saw Whitsit and Kai got a new RV. And everybody, I don't know if y'all ever, I take it everybody here knows Austin Whitsit and his lovely new wife, Kai.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, they got an RV, they fixed it up, and they did a tour on it. And they were saying one of the neat things they had on their RV was 2 bathrooms, something that's unusual in an RV. And it's like, that would be an important thing to have in a house, especially something that little is 2 bathrooms. Little things like that I think would be huge. Bob always says he wants to live in an RV, but Bob is almost 6'6".
Yeah, he's not built for RV life.
Dude,
I
that's
think
my
it would get
issue.
so
I would
old on
love
him
to live
so
that
quickly.
way, but I'm not the kind of dude size-wise for that.
No, at
Right.
6'2", I barely fit through all those doors and everything. I have to duck down. Some of the
I think he
RVs.
thinks it sounds
So, yeah.
fun, but I think it would be one of those that on him it would get old very, very quickly, as far as just how small the space is for him.
Drop that
Like
video
the
right there
sizes
in
of the
chat.
bathrooms
Yeah.
and everything, they're just not really meant to accommodate somebody his size unless you have a big like diesel custom, very expensive one.
Dolly Parton style. You notice that how a lot of those musicians don't fly?
No, it's with all their equipment and the things like that. It's
Probably
plus
cheaper. Yeah.
it's easier to stay on there, and then they even I mean, how many musicians die in plane wrecks?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of
Thinking the same
the day
thing.
the
It's
music
kinda
died.
like between the day the music died,
Right.
Leonard Skinner.
Skinner,
Yeah.
Patsy
Stevie Ray.
Cline and
Stevie Ray Vaughan, yeah.
but yeah, some of them talked about it back and forth. But even again, if you fly the people, you have the rest, you have your whole band, you have all your instruments, you have everything, and sorting it and things getting lost and checking. And, again, it's almost easier to keep you together. There's too many nightmare stories of trying to, the band equipment and the equipment not showing up. They had a story in Denver that was really sad last week. Where this band came into Denver and somebody stole their U-Haul right before the concert show. Somebody hauled away their trailer that had all of their equipment in it. Talk about a bummer.
That sucks.
Lucky in chat saying, yep, the bus is the way. Rubber on the ground and no one fucks with your guitar. Absolutely, brother.
Well, yeah, a lot of those musicians, that's like their other children, their guitars. They got them tuned just for certain songs. And man, I mean, you go to some of those concerts. I haven't been in a long time, but some of those guitarists that really know what they're doing, they'll have like 5 or 6 guitars up there. And they'll just go grab one and play it specifically for one song and then put it back. And they'll have their go-to. That's for like most of the songs. But there'll be the other, they use all of them. Yeah, so yeah, I could definitely see that, not wanting people turning the knobs and shit.
When Alex Michael was in Denver and we went guitar shopping for him. And again, it was so fun. We were at Guitar City, and he's trying out all of the different guitars, and we have full attention of the people in the sound room because Alex is better than most of your people that walk in the sound room at Guitar City and pick up guitars.
Flat with guitar demonstration with him in the place.
Oh, it's fabulous in his voice. And I mean, he's so fun and nice. But yeah, he's like, this is an intimate, this is a serious relationship that they have.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell. I mean, it's nothing. It's their babies, their pets. You can see the affection and the love they give him with the wood, grains and the different. He was explaining on how like the cutouts and just, sitting on you just right. You can tell when you find just the right piece, the right instrument is perfect. It's a match. And
How many guitars did he pick up? A
Oh.
bunch.
I'm trying to say probably about like 14 or 15 because he had some very, very specific needs, like before he even picked up the guitar that he knew about. And that I was, helping. He was pointing out different things that he needed. Again, the way that he wanted, where it was cut out at the bottom, to sit and different. He wanted a certain kind of wood, or if not, like something in different families. But so we were like the 15 that he tried were all like really good contestants. None of them were. He wasn't randomly picking up guitars and just doing it. They were all specifically had a possibility of being the one.
Kind of how it's always been when I do it myself. Is you go in there with the idea of what you want, what you're looking for, but it has to find you.
It has to find you is right.
It has to be right.
And when you sit there and you hit the keys and the feel of it, he's like, that's it. That's it.
Rico said he played a festival with Cheap Trick and their guitarist. Yeah, guitarist of Cheap Trick had some crazy OCD about his guitars.
I bet.
Yeah, that's their babies.
He always came across as that kind of guy, though. To me, he always came across as a very reserved. I mean, yeah, he had like crazy hats and get up on stage, but his personality wasn't very outgoing. It was like he was very reserved, so I could see him being OCD. I was a huge fan of Rick Nelson, one of my favorite guitar players. Very underrated guy. The noise you're hearing is not someone playing Pong. Actually, we're not 100% sure what that noise is. We've been trying to.
It's making the noise?
Yeah.
It's definitely not my headset then, because I'm not wearing a headset.
I had my isolated mute button on my headset, and I'm hearing it, so I don't think it's me, but it might be. I seem to try everything.
I don't know what the hell it is. I really don't.
It's weird.
So real quick, have to go into total guitar nerdville since we're talking guitars. Lucky there in chat, who did me a gracious favor there, made an amazing video about a Klein he owns from the guy who designed them, made them, created them, asking about current prices. I did see one of the guitar guys who I watch quite frequently saying that he had noticed the price had gone from 5,000 up to 10,000. So yeah, seeing that someone's looking to offer you 15 for it, especially the one you have, I could see that being a real offer. So I don't know, dude. It's nuts. It's kind of like the crypto gambling. I mean, do you do it now, or do you wait and see if it goes up more? Or, I don't know. That's nuts.
So I have an idea.
Okay.
Why don't we end the YouTube, just go over to Rock Band and jam for a little bit? I want to play some music now that we're talking about music. Let's have a good.
Interesting.
Good guitarist.
That's a real quick before we do that though. BCB Brian there is saying, asking if someone has their headset volume up a little loud because the headset mic might be picking that up. Like when someone else is talking and when they're talking and it's looping through. That's very likely, very possibly what it is. If someone has a really, I don't know, it's just really crazy.
I'm going to take me out of the main screen and tell me if that fixes it. Okay, I'm just curious if it is me, and if it is, I apologize.
Well, there's nothing you're doing on purpose. If it is, we're trying to figure it out. Test, 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 test. No, I still hear it.
I haven't found the main screen yet.
Oh, I thought you were gone.
I have to get out of the screen and find where the zoom is. It's not easy. It's like, oh, the possibilities. Oh my gosh, I keep on getting other windows. There you are, Walt. Now I just have to make it big to do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, bye.
Test, 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 test. No, I still hear it. Zach,
Now that
mute
if it was
you up.
me, should have taken
Yeah,
care of it
hang
because I
on.
muted
It
from
did.
the top
Zach,
screen
He
even.
did. He muted. Okay. Test, 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 test. Yeah, it had to be Zach because he's the only one in our show in the morning that would be having the same issues. It's definitely your headset or your microphone or something picking up.
I'm not wearing a headset. I don't have a microphone. I'm just
But
talking.
he is in the same house as me, and I.
How are you doing your show? How are you talking to me right now? What is your setup?
I'm just talking through my phone.
Just like a phone, like to your head?
Yeah.
Are you?
When you talk, it mutes, and then when I talk, it picks up. My mic picks up. Just on Zoom. I'm just using Zoom through my phone with no headset at all.
That's probably the problem, though. Is it's picking up the audio?
I was using my headset this morning, and it was doing.
I don't know.
So
Something
I don't
definitely.
know, dude.
And he added his headset earlier, and it did it too. And then I think it's me being around him. I just think I mess people up. It's crazy. I have on this one.
I've done all kinds of stuff. I don't know what to do. I can go
I
try my
have
other phone
dongles.
again. See if that works.
You can try that. I have the pieces that convert all the headsets to phone headsets, Zach. I just have to find where I put it. Did I put it in this drawer here? I did. I have the piece right here that converts all of the yeah, if it's doing it without a headset, putting a headset on it wouldn't fix it. But yeah, I did find the dongle I was looking for that would convert headphones into a phone headphones. And it wouldn't even be a dongle; it would be an adapter. So I used the wrong word. There's just too much, too many things.
Josh, let me see. Talk, Josh. Josh. Josh is gone. Oh shit! Now Zach is gone.
I'm here. It's me and you,
Tammy,
Walt.
it's you and me,
Me and
babe.
you together.
I got
sing.
you, babe. Right?
Yeah.
I got you, babe. Man, I don't know what the situation is, but it does seem to be Zach related somehow.
Well, you know what? It's worth having Zach on even with this static.
It's awesome for him to be here. I would like him to come back. I just wish we could figure it out because it's new. It hasn't been there forever. It's just something recent. And other people seem to be having the issue too. So it may be some kind of phone like update that one of the big carriers have done to their shit that's causing the issue for more than just him, because a lot of people have the same carrier. I don't know. It's frustrating. And I'm sorry that we're doing all this live for you guys, but it's obviously affecting the show because you guys have mentioned it numerous times in chat. So
And it's that, or I could be talking. I could be talking about what I have. This is actually pretty funny. In my bowl, I never made it outside. It did get dark. So I'm having a lettuceless salad. I have cheese. I have eggs. But no, I didn't go outside and get the lettuce. So yeah, I'm having a chef salad without the lettuce. Probably not the healthiest, but it's going to be good. Now, see, it was good. Let's go back to the talk about headphones.
I went back to chat, just checking up, and I see our buddy Horace there, and they're discussing music. Lucky's all excited about me getting distracted. About guitar. Yeah, man, I love guitar. It's pretty much part of my soul. My fingers are currently in a lot of agony because I'm working on some styles of stuff I'm not used to doing. And yeah, I play a lot. Anyway,
Are you familiar with Phil of Wings of Pegasus?
yeah, I love Phil.
I love
I
it.
love his breakdowns.
I love it. Exactly. I love watching the music and the way that he breaks it down. And I've been on all kinds of things watching Phil lately just for like de-stress time because
Oh, it's great.
listening to the music is great, but watching him break it down. And you know what? I really love watching music on an oscilloscope. It's really soothing to me. And what's even more soothing is putting it up and then putting a mirror and watching the mirror and watching it go backward. I don't know why, but I feel like I should be able to read it or something, but I can't. You know, as again looking like at a foreign language, like it's familiar, but it's not. But it's fascinating.
Absolutely.
I highly recommend that everybody else try that and see if I'm the only crazy one out there, because it does. It's like a magical feeling that you get doing that, and I get it definitely more doing it backwards or right to left than left to right reading it. But as they're hitting it and you're watching the notes do that, it almost it feels like they're handwriting it out, or again, just a feeling. One of my favorite things because I'm a strange girl.
I love you, babe.
I love you too, Walt, because you put up with me and I'm a strange girl. Josh, are you just hiding forever? We see you here. You've got to be here.
Sorry, I was just lost in chat. I saw Lucky saying he actually did a review of Wings of Pegasus. You know, I've only seen Phil playing a handful of times. Really, it's usually just him showing someone else and how they're doing stuff. It's only been, I've caught a couple of the live things where he had some jam going, and definitely liking it. Definitely tasty. All right, we got to go to the music show. I'm fiending now. But I can't do it. I don't have the power.
Yeah,
and apparently we lost Josh completely.
I had to disappear.
Zach's connecting. Ooh, did I hear Josh?
You did. I just came back.
I think I did hear Josh.
Well, because
I heard Josh.
I had to step away, go say hi to Dixie. She had a shit day, so I was listening to just how shit her day was. But there was something I wanted to mention. I had pulled up the Flatline. I don't even know that anybody called, but what was on there when I pulled it up was a text message, which is cool because if you call our Flatline and we don't answer, you can always leave a voicemail. But if you're not comfortable calling or leaving a voicemail, you can always shoot that Flatline a text message. How cool is that?
I forgot we can get text.
We can get text.
I totally forgot. That's awesome.
So now I don't.
How many years ago was it from?
It was actually recent, relatively recent. I've been getting better about trying, because I have my two personal Gmail accounts, and I've got the the Iron Rail Media account, and then I've got the Iron Rail Media podcast account. So catching up on all the emails gets to be tedious and take up a lot of time. But I've tried to get better, at least looking for the Iron Rail Media podcast emails, because that's where the Flatline's connected. And I don't think this is, Angels and Demons Da Vinci Code Dan Brown. But there is a fella named Danny Brown. Yeah? And Danny Brown, let me pull this up again, sent us a text message that I thought was really interesting. This was 7:25 a.m. this morning. It says, "Hi, IRM. I was late to the show today, but the talk was on growing food, and it reminded me of this. An old farmer discussing the effects of electricity on gardens versus standard fertilizers." And he sent a link and says, "My name is Danny Brown." Actually, my name is Danny Brown probably came through first. Just the goofy way they did it. But I thought it would be interesting just to take a look. So I clicked the link to see what it was. And here's this old farmer just chilling, right? On a couch in front of the fireplace. I will actually share this so everybody can see, because that's how I like to do. Pull it up a little. There we go. I'm just going to play this right there for you guys. For you guys there.
Oh, thanks.
There we go. And I just wanted to hear, it's 30 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I was just kind of curious to hear because the title is called Danny Finally Lets the Cat Out of the Bag. This was the link that was shared by the fella named Danny Brown. I don't think Danny Brown is Dan Brown, the author. And I don't know if Danny Brown is the Danny in the Danny Finally Lets the cat out of the bag. But the channel is Deep South Homestead. Yeah?
Hey, get the hell out of here.
So I don't know if this may have been someone that was sort of pointed in our direction.
I wonder, because a friend of ours there in our chat just recently asked if we were interested in doing a homesteading show. And I said, well, if we only had a guest. I'm looking at you, Tommy.
Right.
That's who asked.
Yeah, which was the first thing I thought of too. When I saw this in Deep South Homestead, I thought, I wonder if there was, any connection there as well. So I thought that was really interesting. So I just wanted to play a little bit of this just to sort of get a feel, get a vibe, get a listen to see what was going on and being said here.
Sitting in my sitting room here, guys, looking out across the pond and across the back hill. This is the day our severe weather's coming in. The wind's blowing, according to what they're saying, around 40 to 42 miles an hour, which it looks like it looking out the window here. Trees are bowing over pretty good. And just preparing for what's fixing to come, the severe weather. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. They're talking about massive tornado outbreaks, and all this kind of stuff. And we're under a tornado watch now. Have been most of the day. And as I sit here and watch the timber, guys, I have nothing else to do. And talking to Wanda, I said, I think it's time that I do this video. I've been thinking about this video for a really long time. And of course, Ms. Wanda's always asking me, Danny, please be careful, and the guys, I think it's time that I let the cat out of the bag. And I think it's time that we talk about some things that probably have been hidden for quite some time. Some of you may know some of this stuff. And then some of you may not know any of it. But we've talked about for quite some time that there is an agenda out there to control the world. Globalization. And there's no doubt about that. The New World Order, Biden just mentioned that in a speech that we need to be the leading one in the New World Order. Of course, now you have to understand, he's not the first president to do this. It started back with as early as the Bushes. The Bushes probably said more about it than anybody did. So this is not anything new. Of course, we're closer to it than we were. We have to admit that. But with that being said, globalization of everything means more control over the people. And this within itself is not anything new. But how it's going to come about is going to be one of the big factors in how our existence is going to play out. Now, I'm having to be very careful and choose my words, guys. So I'm not hesitating or anything on purpose. I'm just having to really, really look into using the proper words. And I may not use the proper words. Sometimes, I might choose a bad word or something. So please forgive me if for those of you who have to be politically correct for some ungodly reason. I don't know, but it must be miserable to be like that. But I mean,
This guy
for
for
those
president.
of you who are, forgive me. But I want to talk to you a little bit about why the big issues with climate change, global warming, all these things, why are they becoming a huge topic now? Food supplies, all of these things play a big part in bringing in the New World Order. They all play a big part in controlling mankind. They all play a big part in the depopulation of mankind. There's so many things playing a factor here. Now I'm gonna take this in a lot of different directions, and you're gonna have to stay with me on this thing, because I'm trying to put this in the best order I know how to put it in. We're gonna start off with food, because food is the key factor in this whole globalization, New World Order thing. Because as Henry Kissinger made this statement, y'all are very well aware of that. You've heard me say it. A lot of other people have said it. That whoever controls the food controls the world. Well, with what's going on over in the Ukraine right now, Ukraine was about quarter of the world's grain supplies came from Ukraine. So whoever controls that will control at least a quarter of the world's grain supplies. But why is that important? Why is it important that you control that? Well, if you control the grain, a quarter of the grain in the world, it's kind of like liken it to this. And I've owned 3 different companies. I held all the stock in these companies. But let's just say that I decided at some point I wanted to sell a quarter of the stock. Well, that would mean that there would be a quarter of my business that I had no control over, because it's out from under my hands now. Although it couldn't really do anything massive to the company, it did hold a quarter of the interest of that company. Well, the food supply is a lot like that. Whatever country holds a larger, like a quarter supply of the grain in the country, they can't really stop everybody in the world from eating, but they can sure hinder it. Just like if I sold a quarter of my business, whoever I sold it to could make my business suffer from that quarter of a percent, a quarter of it. And they could bring about lots of things that would make it very difficult for me to succeed, even though I had the other, 75%. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, so the grain supplies and the food supplies in the world is basically the same thing. Now, let's talk about food in general. Let's go into gardening. This agenda this is not something that just started. This actually started back in the during the World Wars was when it really got traction. Now, what I'm going to be talking about actually started back in the 1700s, but
okay, I think I'm going to have to skip forward, otherwise I'm going to get totally lost, and I'm going to want to sit and watch this whole 30-minute video of this guy sitting here talking, because I'm really interested to hear his take and what he says and everything.
Thus going into a solar minimums like we are, a grand solar minimum, and now we've got the planetary system that's going to start affecting our Earth here in the next few years. Porch time, I believe it was. The aluminum binds up the phosphorus in the soil, so the plants can't take the phosphorus up into the food, which you eat it or release into the body, into the bloodstreams, and then you have a whole host of toxic poisons coming into the human body, which a lot of cancers, specifically breast cancers, are caused by dioxin. And there's so many things out there, guys. These agendas to make the wealthy wealthier and to make the New World Order come into existence by making people sicker and sicker and sicker as time goes on, by making them believe that by putting NPK into their soil, that they are actually doing something healthy and doing something good. It's been organically raised. It has organic, NPK in it. Well, what about iron? What about zinc? What about magnesium?
Mm-hmm.
What about calcium? What about all these other nutrients that the body needs? Boron? All these things like this, the body needs trace minerals of all of it to be healthy and to be nutritious. And with all the stuff with the little line patterns in the sky we see from time to time, that's putting aluminum into our soil. The aluminum, I mentioned this in a video, Porch Time, I believe it was. The aluminum binds up the phosphorus in the soil, so the plants can't take the phosphorus up. Well, phosphorus is where your plants get the ability to have tremendous root growth, especially root crops like potatoes and carrots and, turnips and rutabagas and all these things like this that have root crops underground, garlic and things like this. Unless you add extra phosphorus to the soil, then these plants these are not going to do well. You've got to really boost this stuff because of the amount of aluminum that's in the soil from what's being put in the atmosphere. It's binding all that stuff up and the plant can't take it up. So guys, there's tons of stuff going on out here. This is why electroculture is so important. Electroculture is one of those things that when the weather is normal and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, that your plants at that moment take up out of the soil what it needs as long as it's in the soil. That's why it's so important to add things like, or to have these things checked when you have soil samples done. Ask for them to check something besides NPK. Tell them you need a soil analysis on the aluminum, the salt that's in the soil, the iron that's in the soil, the magnesium that's in the soil. All these nutrients like this are what you want when you ask for a soil sample. Now, it may cost a little more, but what price can you put on healthy food? I was blown away when I had the test done on my soils. Some of mine, the calcium levels on them were through the roof. Some of them, the phosphorus levels on them were through the roof. Some of them, the iron levels on them were through the roof because of the way I have amended my soil. But then some of them, the zinc levels was at the very bottom. Some of them, the nitrogen levels were at the very bottom. It all depends on what you do with the soil. And guys, that's what this video today is I wanted to be about. It's time to let the cat out of the bag and to let people know there is an agenda going on in the world today to destroy the population of the world by making it think that it's doing what's right by putting NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in the soil, and believing that if you do it organically, that you're going to live a healthy, prosperous life when you've actually left out some of the most vital minerals that the body needs to be healthy.
Damn straight. I dig it. Shout out Danny.
Smart guy. And that's no joke. They say most of the soil in the United States, you can't farm it without adding massive amounts of garbage to it.
Drop that video in chat for everybody there, Josh, if you didn't see that already. I don't know if you saw him asking for it.
I did not.
Yeah,
I was deeply enthralled in listening to
I
Danny.
know, I was too.
I could be talking, but I'm busy picking out just the right emoji for Liz.
Just the perfect one.
We all know how important that is with the emojis. That was fabulous. He is right about it. They've been right now. They even talk that they've ruined all the land with the ethanol gas and the different things. Again, I don't know. It's a sad plan. The secret is working around it, and everybody really does need to be working on gardening now. Even apartment gardening, the tower gardening. There's really no excuse not to do it. Food it's in the news. We knew it was coming. Food is going to become outrageous. Go back. Even to the Bible, if you want and see how Egypt got all of their wealth. They got all of their wealth by knowing in advance about the famine and collecting all of the food and then selling it for high prices. And then once they were out of money, they sold themselves to them. I mean, again, it's been done before. And it's kind of scary going further, but the home gardening, there can't be enough done on this right now as far as I'm concerned. The scariest thing as a mother is like the idea of like thinking about having a child and not being able to feed them.
Yeah.
There's just nothing that's scarier.
That is the truth.
And when I say a mother, I should just say a parent, a grandparent, a decent person, because I don't think we even need to be a mother to have that type of love or, panic on the wrongs that can be done on that.
Yeah, nobody needs to go hungry. With a little know-how, everybody can feed themselves just by walking around outside, even in public parks. They can't get all the so-called weeds, right? They're out
Travis
there.
McClung says if you plant cilantro around your plants, you won't get weeds.
Lots of interesting stuff.
I'm glad to know it's good for something because that stuff tastes like soap. It's
Yep, it
awful.
does.
I'm really glad that
Again,
it has
going
some
back to
purpose
the-
because it's certainly not to eat. But yeah, what are weeds? But what are weeds, Zach? Tell me what weeds are.
It's a 4-letter word. There's no such thing as a weed. Just misunderstood plants, in my opinion.
You're just being a racist. In the plant world, you're just being a racist to a particular type of plant. It's your subjective viewpoint. I like ice cream, but I like vanilla ice cream best. So any chocolate ice cream, we just need to get rid of it every time we see it. If I see it anywhere, I just take it and throw it away as far as I can. I call it a weed. I just never let it enter my eyesight, and if I do, I have to remove it. I want all my ice cream to be one uniform color, monochromatically white vanilla ice cream, because that's the way everything should be.
And it's so sad because all of these chocolate ice creams, these weeds, have more nutrients than pretty much anything you can plant in your garden that most people plant in their garden. Clover, sorrel, dandelions.
It's the best. It has 0 nutrients, Zach. What has 0 nutrients?
Well, 0 nutrients for us, grass.
That would be grass for us. Grass. Do you not eat grass? Yeah.
There's places that make you plant it in your. You have to kill clover, something you can live off of.
Right.
To plant grass.
Yes, that is called the Homeowners Association rules. Yep. You must put it in there, and they recommend. Like I know in Colorado, they recommend Kentucky bluegrass, which can be any dumber because just because it will grow in Colorado doesn't mean it should grow in Colorado. That stuff takes a lot of water, and you pay dearly for that grass.
Well,
that grass that has no nutrients, no value whatsoever other than decorating your ticky-tack houses.
Yeah, go look at the backyards of a lot of these people. It's bare. It's just like dirt with yellow, real tall. They don't even mow it. There's no point in mowing it. It would just kill it completely.
I'm
But
with
yeah,
Jake.
they don't.
Jake says FHOAs. One of the worst fucking inventions ever. I don't care if you pronounce it inalienable, unalienable, unalienable. Homeowners associations are the biggest threat. One of the top 5 biggest threats to individual liberty, individual freedom in this country. The fucking homeowners association. Fuck them. Don't have one out here. Not really. That's a lie. We sort of do. Yeah. Because we do have pay some sort of like a $50 a year. Make sure the road gets plowed during the wintertime.
Yeah, we have one that I think here is like $12 a month, and it's because it's a private streets and that we have to maintain our own street lights and things like that. But it's very reasonable, a little bit intrusive, not near as intrusive as the group I came out of in Denver, which was, again, this place was so corporate that if you didn't shovel your snow by 12 hours after the snow quit the next day, they'd have people come by and take pictures of your sidewalk and give you warning that you'd have to have it shoveled in 10 days or proceed to get a fine, which was like utterly ludicrous because 10 days later in Colorado, the ground is never at all looking the same as it did 10 years ago. In other words, if there's snow on it, it could be 80 degrees in 10 days. Or if there is snow on the ground, it's from a whole different snowstorm. It has nothing to do with what happened then. But again, they make their little regulations and nobody even thinks of common sense involved. It's so frustrating. Here we have a little personal one that we have Bootsy, who's in charge of it. And she stopped by to make sure that like we get approval if we do anything, which we probably flunked on, Zach, but I can't imagine them like needing it for it. It's not on the front of the house, but she did warn that like we're not allowed solar panels in our neighborhood because they had a meeting and they decided they looked ugly.
Yeah, well, screw her.
Well, you could say screw her. Well, I think we've seen her get in arguments with one of the neighbors or that. But it's funny, yeah, they get together, they have a few drinks, and they pass usually ludicrous rules is how it starts off, the feel of power. She seems pretty nice. But in time we'll tell. I mean, I think overall we're in a good neighborhood. I like it. But again, homeowners associations overall, what a take of money and resources for nothing. Again, things that they make you pay for no good reason. I was happy to pay, like knowing that my taxes and where we were, because people were so bad about paying their homeowners because we all thought it was bullshit. They somehow with the law incorporated it into the taxes. So when you had your mortgage, you paid your mortgage and your taxes, you were having to pay for your homeowners at the same time instead of even separately. And it went through corporate to a different state to everything. And again, it was like, again, auto file on mostly pictures of, oh, you have too much snow on your sidewalk that's going to melt in 2 hours if you guys would just wait. Crazy
Yeah.
shit. Pissed me off bad. I had to even go to a meeting once about like the snow, and it's like, yeah, where my house sits in the snow on there, if you take the picture at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's there. If you wait until 10 o'clock, it will do it itself. It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous. Now, did you guys have to become part of it when you moved here? Because I've heard of people saying, well, I've owned this land before your homeowners association started. And I told you then I didn't want to be a part of it and nothing to do with it.
No, it was disclosed. It was disclosed in it's part of the real estate deal. When you sign the papers and everything, you have to sign off that you're aware of the homeowners and part of it. And that it's one of those, if you look at any listing on any real estate place, you'll see HOA, yes or no. And then it's up to you to see how exactly extreme they are before going in. Again, what we have here is more of just a local feel-good ladies having a tea party, but what it was in Denver was a corporate nightmare that, again, a way to extract money and
Mhm.
Again, the auto pay type of thing. So they were getting rich off of it. They were making a lot of money. It's just a way to siphon money off people that would put it to better use than they are. So
Yeah, that's sick.
stupid, sick. Yep. We asked people to take away our rights. It's crazy.
And if you don't pay any of your dues, fine. But when you sell
they'll
your
put a
house,
lien on your house, yeah.
that's right. When you go to sell that house, you then have to pay all those back dues and probably fines or late charges.
Fines and penalties and all of that, yes. And even if you don't pay them and you decide not to sell your house, they can put a lien on your house and sell it from underneath you or whatever to collect the liens. It's they have too much power.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I've never heard of them doing that. I mean, a lien, that sounds more like a levy where they're just take it away. I mean, a lien is sort of what it does when you don't pay, and you got to pay up before you can relinquish ownership, and you have to be responsible for what you did with it while you were responsible for it.
Well, you're probably right on this because I've really never had any of these things happen. And like when they've called me up to the meetings, like I've shown up and they don't like me at the meetings.
Good.
I think I pretty much quit getting notices because I ask questions and rally people around me. So
Yep.
I don't know, after the one meeting that like I had to show for getting 3 notices in the same year for having like 2 snows and a weed the morning that we were mowing the yard that had gotten like 6 inches because it had just rained like crazy. So I think I had like 3 things incidences. And then after that, even on incidences, they didn't require my appearance at the homeowners association ever against that. The one time I showed up, I was never ever invited back. We did your talking to people and getting everybody like, this is complete bullshit. A lot of people are like scared with the legalese writing and the things on it. But yeah, we had quite a intense meeting, the one that we went to, and it's kind of like when I went to the school board meeting at Denver Public Schools and suggested that they change all the wording and all of their letterheads and things like that. It didn't go over well. I mean, they just don't want you back. You come up with great suggestions, but they don't want you back.
No,
Who would have thought? I was going to have them because they put something in Denver Public Schools that like you cannot take the schools to court directly. You have to go through mediation first, so they won't let you go straight to lawsuit. So like as a mediation thing, I suggested that they change all of their letterhead and stationery thing as to no child left behind except for Jaron, because it's like, you guys are fucking with my kid. If I can't sue you, then you at least can't claim to not leave a child behind, because clearly you are. But yeah, I'm just a fun
Mama
person to
bear.
have. Yeah, Mama Bear, don't piss off Mama Bear. Let's say that they did not change the letterhead and things like that, but my son did change the school he was in and the type of education he was getting at that time after that meeting. In other words, little making that I had other people give me, you poor thing, and it's like, yeah, the shit that you guys make the parents go through, and they're like, you're right. But instead of on that one, it was interesting because squeaky wheels do get the grease, and they didn't really. The city council meetings can be, are televised and people can look at it. They really don't like people like me to show up for them, or especially they don't like people like Alex Stein.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not Alex Stein level, but I'm an emotional mama bear, and it's like, you
you forget where you are.
Don't mess with Mama Bear.
Yeah, he really went viral with his and he's done a few of them, and the first ones didn't get as much, traction. But once that last one blew up that he did,
Well, I don't even know if it was his last one. He's done so many of them now. But yeah, once he did that, he's got all kinds of people talking about him now. It's crazy.
Now, see, over 10 years ago, that nobody thought about making a school board meeting viral. But that's the way to do it. And he's got, it's happening now at all of the different meetings. Yes. If you can be as animated as Alex Stein, you too can get attention because he is something else. He would be, as a mother, you see the orneriness in his eyes. He would be like your frightening thing as a mother. Like, what happens if I get one this busy? What would I do with it? Can you imagine being his parents growing up?
Oh, I know. Yeah, he cracks me up.
Yes, I'm looking at the chat. It is official. Flattoberfest is in Greenville, South Carolina this year on the weekend of October 22nd. I'm sure we'll have things going on the Friday night, all day Saturday and all day Sunday with this event, with the early check-in Friday and that. So we're quite excited.
Awesome.
So I do have some trimming to get to tonight. So I may have to cut this a tad short, unless you guys wanted to carry on without me. Before I went, I did throw up on screen my latest trimming experience that I had last night, just to get it started off a little bit. It was just like a little half ounce of trim before I toddled off to bed. And then brought it out to look at it in the sunlight, and I was just staring at, admiring it in the sunlight for the first time after I got home from work today. And I just wanted to share what I saw. And then looking at it, I find this really interesting now that I'm looking at it. Right dead in the center of this jar on top of this Candyland, it looks like two pieces of styrofoam or two little white things sitting right up on top. And I'm trying to think, what the fuck is that? So if you look at the whole picture, you can sort of see where the lid is hinged and up. And I'm sort of using the lid like a magnifying glass to sort of aim it and spotlight the light down on top of that weed. I'm pretty sure that is the reflection of the sun off my weed. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's coming through the fucking lid of the jar and shit.
I didn't realize the lid wasn't open. I thought it was. I mean, yeah. I thought
That
it was
is something beautiful. Totally, some kind of beautiful. So sunshine on your weed, and you got it captured. It's hard to get the sunshine shots, and that I was again trying to take making a hologram of a tinfoil and catching the light. That it catches light, trying to get the magic of it on camera and how bright it is. But that I see the glistenings. It's beautiful. Love the sunlight.
David in chat, Puzzle Bobble says, Josh, that's bud rot. Which when I saw the picture was the first fucking thing I thought. Right. Like, oh my God, what the fuck is on there? You know what? That is beautiful stuff. And I know I would have seen that if that was actually on there.
Especially right on top as you close the fucking lid jar. Yeah. I would have seen it. I'd have noticed it and went, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. There's no way I would have missed that. Admiring it in the sun for 10 minutes until Brendon called me this afternoon.
And I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know the lid was shut. So that
well, it's open, but it's like hinged up at like a 90-ish degree angle.
Oh,
enough
I
to
got you.
Catch
so it's
the sun.
Pinpoint, like magnifying.
Right.
Lens
yep. To spotlight it on the buds. Yep.
I got you.
And I think that's what is actually catching is like the reflection of the sun off the lid bounced onto the top of the buds. But it's still, those trikes are sparkly and frosty enough to catch that light and bounce it back even. So I'm really looking
maybe the
forward.
moon is a big giant bud.
Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I thought that was pretty. I'm really proud of those purples in there because that's exactly the sort of colors that it had on the website from the breeder when I bought the seeds. I went back and double checked just to see. And sure enough, that's motherfucking Candyland. Colorful. Greens and purples and oranges and frost. Digging it.
Digging it.
Yeah, I probably would have been crying all day. If I'd have opened that jar when I got home and seen that bud rot, I would have probably been crying all day. But I think it's been so far so good. I've been keeping my environmentals within range. I think, although it was strange that it dried out a little bit faster than I thought, but the weather has been changing over, and that probably had a little bit something to do with it. Everybody, Intellectual Ketchup just posted a link in chat. Feel free to go ahead and click that link if you're a fan of Leafly.com and the strains. Jesus. I've already forgotten.
Huh.
Was it a Kush? I can't click links on fucking Restream. One of my biggest complaints is I can hide it.
Here, I can show it. I'll show it. Hang on.
All right, let me get this shit out the way.
Give me some power, Josh, and I'll show it.
I got you even pulled up just waiting to give you power because I wasn't sure if you guys were going to carry on without me. The first two picks, they're on Leafly. Jaeger Kush. Jaeger, that's right.
Jaeger Kush.
Jaeger Kush. Big fan of Jaeger Kush. Yes, I was.
Huh.
Pretty. Very pretty.
Very pretty. Them monster buds. Them look like monster buds growing there.
Yeah.
Ow.
Very nice. Very nice, Jake. Damn.
Very nice.
Damn. Excuse me.
Well, I reckon we should call it, or if you guys...
Yeah,
did I hear something
I
about
mean,
doing music or something?
I wanted to, but my stomach's getting grumbly, so I
Yeah,
don't
mine
know
too.
how much longer I can hold on, actually.
Yeah, it kind of passed. We were talking guitarists. And
We
I
were
was
all
like,
into the
"Ooh,
guitars, and we were pumped
I
up,
want to hear
but
Jimi
it's
Hendrix,
late.
The
We've
Wind
lost
Cries
some
Mary.
folks there. Yeah, we want to... What we need to do is just make that like a thing that we plan on doing, cut it off early or whatever we need to do.
Or do just like a
thing.
Wednesday
I enjoyed
jukebox.
the hell out of it. Yeah.
The Wednesday IRM playlist, Wednesday jukebox or something.
Something. We need to do it, though.
Go to Telegram, take requests.
And I love finding new stuff that you guys are bringing around, and I hope you guys are enjoying some of the new shit I'm bringing to y'all for sure. It's some off-the-wall shit, I know sometimes, but definitely it's stuff I've loved for a long time. And new stuff. I mean, new stuff that I find today, and it's like, oh shit, I want people to hear this. So.
Rico is being sad in the chat room because he's colorblind and everything kind of looks, grayish, brownish, greenish to him. He doesn't really get the purples and the blues and the colorblind. Rico, you'll be happy to know that if you need a job in the future or something, people that are colorblind make the best, believe it or not, color graders with diamonds, natural color gradings, because you're grading for saturation of color and not what hue it is, which will throw people that see the different tints off. And so they say some of the most talented color graders doing it naturally and working with diamonds are people that are colorblind. So for all the things you can't do, you can't fly an airplane, you can't see all the beautiful colors and that, you can grade colorless rocks. How's that for and put the subtle differences in the markings on it?
Silver linings. I don't know.
Silver linings, yeah.
If you can see silver, I don't know.
It wasn't much to give you, Rico, but I tried to give you something, and that's all I had. I would be heartbroken too if I were colorblind. I love the color spectrum and the way it's created.
Some kind of something about some new glasses that can help with colorblindness.
There was some technology adding in on the sunglasses that I know somebody that got a pair of them.
Yeah, type that into YouTube. People seeing color for the first time.
I just looked it up on.
Oh, it's so much fun to watch them see it.
But yeah, there's a few different brand names. There's no point in me telling them to you because you can look them up yourself, and I'm not getting the dollar from them. So, but yeah, there's a few actually. Crazy. Well, I hope that works out if you do try it, man.
Well, I have a big weekend coming up. We have tomorrow over at Karen's, and we have a Globebuster show, and then we have the show with Ariel on Sunday night. So I know that I would prefer like ending it up a little bit early tonight, and getting a little bit
Yeah, we
extra rest
certainly
with
can.
everything
And
going
you
on.
guys, yeah, definitely. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank y'all for being here. Brandon, dude.
And it
Thank
was
you so
great,
much.
Des.
It was amazing. Just overwhelming, truly. Beyond words.
Yep, glad you're doing better, brother. Hope things can only improve from here. I hope. But I love you guys.
Love you too.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you all.
Love y'all.
Kimmy, give Bob a big old hug for us.
Yeah, do that.
I can do that.
A big old 6'2" hug.
Just
I can't
hold
do
on
a
tight.
6'2" hug, but I can like jump up before I hug him, and
There you
I'll
go.
see if
Just
I
do
can
it.
get
There
that
you
far
go.
off the
Try if
ground.
you can get up there.
See if I can get up there and do the hug. It's my pleasure to hug Bob. I will send hugs to him from anybody. So thanks everybody for sharing your Friday night with us. It's been a lot of fun.
So when he goes to set you down after the hug is finished, hold on a little tighter.
Okay.
When he goes to push away, hold on just a little tighter. And
Okay,
when he
just
tries to
don't-
start
yeah, don't
pulling
let
your
go.
arms around from his neck, just whisper in his ear, "This one's from Josh."
See if I can tip him over. Very special. He'll be happy that you're doing it via me, Josh. That's all I can say.
Well, he's lucky he's not close. Or I'm not close. Something he's lucky for
Something like
somehow.
that.
For something. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I think it is about that time. Again, thank you all. We will see you right back here on this little channel on YouTube and on Rockfin and on D Live. And a few other places. Fuck, I'm not going to name them all. But on Tuesday and Friday mornings, to include truthfrequencyradio.com, tfrlive.com, as we do the Ironworks. Bright and early, dark and early. Fuck. Dark and early. No
Oh,
shit.
yeah, both of those.
Dark and, well, I'm not so bright. But it's a good time. Come join us over
For all.
there. Otherwise, we got to figure out what the fuck to do for the next week. Right here on Have No Sphere. Because I got nothing planned. Throw us some ideas. Remember, the flat line takes text messages. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week. Be good, be well. We love you.